Hi, my name's Brandon. I work at Classic Air Care. I've been doing HVAC for 7 years, and today we're here at a customer's house to do a maintenance. At Classic Air Care, we care about two things: efficiency and comfort. The only way to achieve those things is by maintaining your equipment. We actually just sent this customer a text, and he'll be expecting us here in just a second, and we're here to maintain and make sure everything is up to spec. Let's go. So we're inside now first before we go outside, and there's a few things that I check on a clean and check inside, and one's going to be the temperature drop. So each air conditioner should take off at least 20 degrees on the air. That's a good running air conditioner. The next would be the condensate drain. This is where your AC leaks. Basically moisture from the air that dissipates off the coil. And so this is a #1 service call here. So these will always get backed up, grimy from debris that gets caught in the coil. So we take a gallo gun, it's a CO2 gun, and we just give it a nice purge every year. And that's just to ensure you don't have a backup or anything. Basically, that could fry a circuit board, that could fry a blower motor, and you don't want that. So the last and final thing we're gonna check before going outside is gonna be this customer's air filter. So this customer has a 1-inch air filter, which is pretty standard across most homes. With a 1-inch filter, you should at least change it about every 2 to 3 months. It's very important to do so because, like everything else, you don't want something to work harder than it should, because that's obviously, the quickest way to a breakdown. We need to keep these clean and make sure that everything is maintained regularly. So I'm going to grab my tools, and there's two tools that I really care about on a clean and check, and one's going to be a multimeter. That's going to let me know how efficient this equipment and its components are working. The second part is going to be my gauges. My gauges are going to help me evaluate the pressures on this air conditioner and really let me know how it's working. So let's just get started. So there's three things that I look for when I come out to an AC clean and check. We're going to make sure that this coil, this condenser coil, is super clean. That's going to make sure that this unit is running as efficiently as possible. As well, we're going to check the refrigerant pressures on this unit to make sure it's not leaking, as well as the amp draws on all the parts inside of here. That's going to tell me exactly how worn out this unit is, and really honestly, it's going to let me know a lot about how well it's running. So I like to get everything hooked up with the power off. You can never be too careful with this stuff. So I'm going to hook up my gauges first, and then I'm going to take this electrical panel off and get kind of prepared. So what I'm going to do is check amp draws on our fan and our compressor. Those are very big components inside an air conditioner. Now the reason why this condenser coil needs to be clean is you're going to cause a lot more wear on this fan motor than it should have. That's going to lead to premature failure as well as the compressor. They're both going to work significantly harder in the summertime to keep the house balanced and cooled right. That's why it's extremely important to have this as clean as possible, and that's where maintenance comes into play. So back to why has everything got to be so clean? Another important factor is a capacitor. So a capacitor is the #1 service call, and you need to make sure that the unit is clean or it'll cause a lot more wear on top of this capacitor. This capacitor is here strictly to power on the fan and the compressor. They get a lot weaker over time when these components are stressed due to poor maintenance. So it's very important that these get checked and these units are up to date on their maintenance. On today's episode of What is Poor Maintenance? So this is a prime example of what poor maintenance looks like. So manufacturers nowadays, they've created louvered doors for most air conditioners. That's for hail damage, lawnmowers, yada, et cetera, et cetera. And it's easy to hide the fact that these are as dirty as they are. So that's why I strongly suggest having a company come out and check your air conditioner every year, because you don't know what's hiding underneath. And so we're going to clean this one. Alrighty, we got this thing back together. It's clean, looking great. Let's go give the customer the good news.
Call Classic Air Care today to schedule your AC maintenance visit. Classic Air Care, making your life more comfortable.